Pom, we're going to get on to our first topic, and that is the return of a favourite son who bleeds blue, and that is
Mr. Hamill.
Mr. Aaron Hamill. So Aaron Hamill was announced just under a week ago as our new backline coach. I guess for you and for those in the audience, what did you make of this move?
Well, it came a bit from left field, didn't it? Because he wasn't one of the names that was heavily linked with us. But I mean, it makes sense. We've been talking a lot about bringing old Carlton back to Carlton, haven't we? Someone that gets the system, someone that's experienced. He's spent a while at St Kilda, and you look, he's done just about everything as well. He's worked with the forwards, he's worked with the back line, he's been chiefed with development. There's been a few articles as well, if you go back on the St Kilda page as well, where they've all raved about him. Ratton, Steele has mentioned him by name for his improvement in his defensive game, which is interesting. I like it. I like it. To be honest, I'm not bothered who it is in the back room. I'm more bothered if it's right for Voss, because I think a lot is made about creating a dream back room, and that's not necessarily the case. You find that great teams in the back room all sing and hymn from the same hymn sheet. So if Voss has identified that's what he wants at the football club, that's only a positive, because before, when you look at Bolton and you look at Teague, it's kind of been like a mismatch of hand-me-downs. Do you know what I mean? So it's good. It's going to be a fresh slate, and Hamill gets what it's about as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing. I was too young. I mean, I do remember him playing, and I remember having a connection to him and starting to really love watching him play. I remember I think he had the number 4 from memory, and then 36 came around. I don't know the exact timeline of that, but there was a bit of from what I've been told, there was a harsh exit. Some words were said at a function by John, the late John Elliott, and he didn't leave the club on good terms. And I even saw his interview with Christian from the Carlton media team, and he was talking about how the Carlton supporters never let him forget about it. And I don't know if you believe in making things right, but my first reaction was, okay, well, someone who left on such bad terms such a long time ago, sort of coming back full circle. I hope that means that it's the end of the quote unquote curse. And then the second part is when you hear, Voss, Sayers, Cook talk, it's about the values of the club and realigning with that. And I think that's probably one thing Aaron Hamill definitely knows about. He knows about what it meant to be at Carlton, to play for Carlton. He was at the club, as a 17-year-old at a time when there was that, no, winning is the way it has to be. So I mean, from a values point of view, I like it. Ultimately, I have no idea if he's a good backline coach. I would assume he's competent. He's been in the system for a while now, but it's the values and connecting the Carlton values and bridging the gap between what was and what is that stands out for me.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I think like you go back and you do a bit of a history lesson, because this was before my time as well. I was in the old country at this point, so round ball was my life. But going through and looking at it and being educated by some of the older fans as well, seems that he did leave under a bit of a cloud. Rumours that he went for a bit of cash. But I thought what was really interesting about his interview was how much he missed the club, the passion he had for the club. And sometimes in life, if something happens and you're not happy with it exiting, it can get a bit messy. But if you get that second crack at the cherry, you're going to come back harder. You're going to come back a little bit harder and a little bit more committed. And I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about it. If Voss is happy with this, and he seems to be, I'm happy with it, because at the end of the day, it's all about that coach. If he's happy with Aaron Hamill, doesn't matter if you, me, Dave in the Dock and Duck like him. As long as Vossi has a good working relationship with him and they can bounce off each other, that makes us a better side moving forward. So I'm excited about this.
Yep, absolutely. We've got a great Carlton brain in the comments right here, Andrew Lake, who says that he played in a very notable period of our history. It was a massive loss to our list at the end of 2000. He wore 36 up until the end of 1999, was handed 4 in 2000. Okay, thanks for that. He wanted a contract that would have made him the highest paid player on the list. The Blues rejected it. Sadly, it got very personal. Okay, it's not like the Carlton Football Club to have falling out, is it, Pom?
Well, I mean, some things never change, do they?
Yeah. So yeah, look, it's exciting. it's a bit, there is a bit of nostalgia to it, and we are a club that, like it or not, we are a nostalgic club, and we are nostalgic because the good old days were winning days, right?
Yeah, spot on. So I mean, like for me as well. I mean, you hear as well. I was listening to a Steel interview from 2018 saying that Hamill's not scared to tell them as well when they're doing wrong, which kind of excites you that Voss is that way, Hamill's in that way. We've always had this rumor that our coaches are way too soft.
Mm,
Looks like they're going to get a bit of an education of standards because Hamill going through. Obviously, my wife's a big St Kilda girl. Everything he's ever talked about on their channel is literally about standards, about how
mm,
you approach preparation, old school methods, old school mantra. One of the philosophies he had, and that was interesting when he signed, his philosophy is a hard work and endeavor with pride in what you do. And that excites me because they're words that we've kind of regurgitated on here all the time. Where's the pride? Where's the commitment? So I'm excited about that. It's a good fit. It's a good fit.
no, very exciting, very exciting.